Well, hello all of you gorgeous Nicely Newsers out there, and welcome to the show! Today is Friday, September 20th, 2024. My name is Lenny Hernandez, and we've got a wonderful episode in store for you today. This week's episode is all about VITALIA Highland Heights, located in, you guessed it, Highland Heights, Ohio. This stunning, brand new, fully licensed community recently opened its doors to residents, and the building is filling up with life and love as residents get to know the staff and one another. They're forming friendships, and they're shaping the culture of their new home. I sat down with Yela Kutovich, Director of Wellness at VITALIA, and Lisa Ford, Executive Director, to learn more about VITALIA Highland Heights and how it is improving the lives of its residents daily. So grab yourself a snack, maybe something cold and refreshing to drink, get nice and comfortable, because you're about to enjoy the show! Welcome to Arrow Nicely News! Yeah! Yeah! It's gonna be a good one! Well, first up, I had the absolute pleasure of speaking with Yela Kutovich, Director of Wellness at VITALIA Highland Heights, about the community and how things are going there for the new residents. Well, hello, Yela. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing so well. I was recently at Highland Heights. I say recently, it was probably a month and a half ago or so, and I was able to see the community firsthand, being there to kind of help put some of the supplies away where it goes. But now it's so much more interesting because you have residents at the community now. Tell me all about it.
It's wonderful. And the more residents we get, it's even better. The residents are meeting each other and they're forming bonds already in the beginning stages. And it's really a sight to see.
Now, Highland Heights is unique in that the entire community is licensed. Of course it's a challenge because it's a brand new community, but I bet it has been exciting though for you and for the staff and the residents. Talk a little bit about that.
It is, and just having a whole new building, new staff, and we had staff go other places until we opened up. So now just getting all the staff together, meeting the residents. The residents' families are involved. It's a beautiful process, to be honest with you.
I didn't think about the fact that because there was a little bit of gap in time whenever we hired to where the community actually opened, a lot of your staff was able to go to our sister communities and get that training, that hands-on training well before you move residents in.
Yes.
How have the employees benefited from that, of course?
They were very happy to be accepted in the other communities, and we were too. We were happy that they had that training, and they did very well, and it did help us because once they came here, they were already trained, and it just helped bring everything together.
Well,
so
you kind of hit the ground running in a sense, right?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
What has been one of your favorite things about the community itself when it comes to like the things that you guys offer, like whether it's amenities, whether it's, like the dining experience, whether it's one of those things? What has been your favorite thing about this, of course, brand new community?
To be honest with you, probably my Wellness Wednesday, and we got 100%. Everybody joined. There was no division. Like everybody came. Everybody loved it. We had vendors come in. It's a brand new community. We have. It was just a beautiful day, and I think that that's probably so far my favorite.
Wellness Wednesdays. We highlighted these events before in Nicely News, and so just to recap, it's like one of those things where you have all the residents come down and you kind of take their vitals, you do checkups, and then you have vendors come in and of course do special things while you're doing these Wellness Wednesdays.
Yeah,
man, it's such a cool thing to do in the communities for the residents. And again, with you guys being fully licensed, it's a lot of participation. And so kudos to you for getting everyone involved.
Yeah, and they enjoyed it. We had family, Like I said, we had the vendors. I mean, it was like a little almost party in itself.
What would you tell a resident who potentially is on the fence about making the move to Highland Heights, to VITALIA Highland Heights? What would you say to them to kind of be like, hey, come see us, check us out? What would you say?
Not only is the building absolutely gorgeous on the outside, it's even more beautiful once you come inside. But once you get to know the other residents and meet the other residents, our dining is phenomenal. I mean, I've had not one complaint about food. Everybody's happy. The residents they all get along, they all understand each other, and we have some great staff here.
Yes. Well, Yella, thank you so much for taking time to chat with us here at Arrow Nicely News. I appreciate it. I cannot wait to be able to go back to the area and see it as it's filled with residents and all that, buzz and the life that happens at the communities. I can't wait to see it.
We're looking forward to seeing you too.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Next, Lisa Ford, Executive Director at VITALIA Highland Heights, was gracious enough to sit down with me to tell me even more about the community. Well, hello, Lisa. How are you?
I'm doing great today. How are you?
I'm doing so well. I am super excited for you and for your community there, having residents moving in. How has it been? How excited has it been for you all there?
It's just kind of been a wonderful whirlwind. We have took off after some delays. We got open and we had so many people anxious and excited to move in. And within the first 30 days, we have welcomed over 50 people into our community. And so that, they really are just kind of jumping at the seams to get in the door. And it already in 30 days time, absolutely feels like a community.
Wow. That's a lot of residents very quickly.
Yeah, it's been busy, but a very positive busy. We've been very happy with how things have progressed, and I have such a wonderful team. We were staffed and ready, and the department heads. We had time to prepare a little bit, but we didn't know quite what we were expecting. But it's just really everybody's been patient and wonderful, and it's been a wonderful experience to see it just become home for so many.
Well, now that residents are able to move in, and I'm sure that they were just, waiting patiently to get the green light there, how has their reception been to it finally opening its doors?
I think a sense of relief, for a lot who had been delayed a couple times, just making sure that wondering if it was going to open. And now that we have opened, they're very excited to be in their homes. Like when we got the news that we were allowed to move people in, we had referred a moving company and he had to close the schedule up because people were so excited to get into the building and get the activities going and get the meal service and start making friends, watching them all sit together and start introducing themselves to each other and establishing these new friendships has been great to watch. And, even though we have a few hiccups with anything new, they've just been so polite and understanding and welcoming and kind to each other and kind to the staff.
Well, you've said two things that kind of perked my ears. You said you've got some really cool events happening and you have something to do with the culinary, the dining room. What are those like?
So tonight is actually a candlelight dinner. This will be our first inaugural candlelight supper. So we've been planning for a while. So all the department heads will be here to help. We are doing a wonderful themed dinner. Don't ask me what the theme is. I forgot. I'm just going to show up and host and serve and probably eat some leftovers. But the residents are very, very excited. We did our first brunch a couple of weeks ago. And, we were literally wondering about parking and where we're at now. There was so many family involvements. We had so many people that have large families and some had 6, 7 kids show up and grandkids, and just feeling the vibrancy was wonderful for that event.
Well, leftovers, you're speaking my language here. I'll tell you, whenever I was in communities frequently all the time, some of my favorite events that we had were the brunches, were the candlelight dinners, because you would be a part of everything for, the 4 or 5 hours that, you have to set up and break down, and then everything in between, which is the actual event. And then again, at the end, you go, what is left over and what can I take and plate and just munch on for hours. I love that. I love that. What other kind of cool and unique amenities does Highland Heights have that kind of sets them apart from any other community that might be in the area?
So I think one is our location. So I literally believe we could do like a wildlife photo shoot from our community. So we can set at any meeting or any event, and we have 2 ponds on the property. There's deer here every day, families of deer. There are herons and birds, and bird watching is going to become an activity here because we do have so many unusual birds. But we're we are a suburb of Cleveland, but we're kind of out, but we're close enough to everything. Like you don't have to go 15 minutes before you find some good shopping, but it's quiet and it just feels like you're in a wonderful lodge watching some wildlife and enjoy it. And it's really quiet.
I was always shocked with how many urban deer, I guess might be the term, that you would just see deer walking in people's front yards. And
they're like squirrels in Cleveland area.
yeah, I was like, it's insane. I was like, where are that thing is just walking right across that person's front lawn like nothing's happening. I was like,
well, you know, we have a national park just a few miles down the road. So you know, this all did used to be the woods.
That's of course.
And you know, and Cleveland does have such a, you know, Cuyahoga County, a wonderful metro park system. So there's just parks entwined everywhere for people to enjoy.
Well, what other kind of amenities do you have in-house? Do you guys have a fitness center?
We have a fitness center with therapy services or on your own. We have a swimming pool, and we will have some water aerobics classes occurring.
Woo-hoo!
Yes, and we have our theater that will have movie nights and different events. And of course, we have many areas that families can reserve if they want to do any kind of private event for their family or family event.
I love hearing all of that, Lisa. Well, I mean, you have me sold. But what about somebody who might be on the fence about, you know, maybe visiting Highland Heights or calling to talk to you or someone else there? What would you say to them?
You know, I think there's such a long time stigma in what people perceive in senior living, and overcoming that's something that we do all the time. So I really think we just have to say, I just want you to come for one of our restaurant style meals. I want you to come to one of our events. I want you to just walk in the door and right away you're going to see what a difference this is from anything that you possibly have perceived. And you're still maintaining your independence. You still have control in what you're doing every day, but you get to do it around people and with security and safety, and know just those little things that you're worrying about are taken care of.
Nicely said, Lisa. Thank you so much for sitting down and chat with me and just being a part of the wonderful community there at Highland Heights. So thank you for doing what you do.
Well, thank you.
A huge thank you to both Yella and Lisa for speaking with me today. It sounds like the new residents are loving all the amazing things that VITALIA Highland Heights has to offer. And I mean, we can't wait to see how the entire community comes together and of course thrives. VITALIA Highland Heights is located at 305 Bishop Road in Highland Heights, Ohio. It offers all-day dining, brand new amenities, a full calendar of events, and so much more. If you or a loved one is interested in scheduling a tour or just, learning more about the community, please visit www.vitaliahighlandheights.com or call the community directly at 440-276-5370 to speak with one of the friendly and knowledgeable team members there directly. I mean, they would love to talk to you about your options and to help you figure out if VITALIA is the right place for you. Well, y'all, that is a wrap for this week's Nicely News. Thank you so much for joining me and learning all about VITALIA Highland Heights. I hope it was as informative and enlightening for you as it was for me. It's time for us to part ways now, but we'll be back in 7 short days with more thrilling tales from around Aero Senior Living communities, so mark your calendars and come on back now. That's right, until then, for Aero Nicely News, I'm Lenny Hernandez. Have a wonderful weekend, an even better week, and we will see you all next Friday. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe to our show.